Namaste everyone, we are from Project Savers and in this video we will cover the next type of loops, that is for loop. For loop is very important in every programming language because we are doing in C++, Java, Python or any other programming language. For loop is always there. It is most important loop in all the other loops. Okay, so it's very important to get this loop very correctly. Okay, so let's understand it. So in for loop, we perform initialization, comparison and increment operation at the same time. Meaning you can see in the syntax for initialization, semicolon comparison, semicolon increment. Means initialization means any initialization operation like assigning value to a variable, something value, then comparing that value, and then incrementing it. So how is the loop? You can say how is the flow in loop. Let's see that with an example. So as you can see, we have initialized sum equal to 0 as we are performing addition operation. So as you can see, the initialization I equal to 1 and I is less than 10, I plus plus. So when program is executing, it will check, yeah, sum is initialized to 0, okay. So it will check here, oh, here is a for loop. So first he will check this initialization I equal to 1, okay. Then it will check this condition, if I is less than equal to 10, here I is 1 and it is less than equal to 10, so condition is true. Then it will go into the for loop, perform the desired operation. Is depend upon your program. I have just created for demonstrating purpose. Here we have created sum equal to sum plus I, where value of sum initially is 0. When in loop the value is 1, so 0 plus 1 is 1, is added and stored in sum, and then we are printing it out. Okay, so here is 1 is printed out, but wait, for how many times is going to run, it's depend upon this condition. Okay, so it printed out 1, but the loop is not ended yet, so program will come here and again jump over here and it will increment the value of I. Okay, it will execute this and then come again here and increment the value of I. So the value of I will be 2, and again it will going to check with this condition, if 2 is less than equal to 10, where 2 is equal to I value, so it's obvious it's true, then it will perform operation. Previously our sum operation, some variable stored the value of 1, then it is added with I. Here our I is 2 now, so 1 plus 2 3, so 3 is added in some variable and printed that out in this statement, and again jump over to this increment operation, will increment the value again, and this operation will continue till the value of I becomes 10. Suppose it performed all the operations, now the value of, so the loop flow come to here and it incremented the value, so the value is 10 now here, so it will compare here, if value of I is 10, yeah, equal to, na, we are comparing less than or equal to, our value should be less than or equal to 10, so here our value of I is 10, so 10 is equal to 10, condition is true, and again it will perform the operation, some may be any addition, then it will print that out and again come here and increment the I value, if then I value will be 11, so it will check here, if I is less than equal to 10 means here I is 11, which is false, it's a false condition, so it will come out of the loop. Okay, so I tried my best to understand the programming loop in a more efficient way. So let's understand it in a programmatic way to get a better understanding of it. Okay guys, so let's understand it in a programmatic way for loop. Okay, so we will create a program to find a factorial of a number. You guys know that factorial means a multiplication of the number. Means if we want to find a factorial of 5, then it will multiply that number from 1 to 5. Means if you want to find a factorial of 5, then it will be multiplied with 1 into 2, 2, 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 4, 24, and 24 into 5, 120. Okay, in this way it will form a factorial series. Whatever the number you want to find a factorial, till that number it will multiply with that numbers. Okay, I hope you got the idea about the factorial. So let's implement that in a programmatic way. So we are taking integer number from user as n, and we will initialize the I for our for loop for first initialization, and a fact variable to store the actual factorial, which is first initialized with 1. It is very important to initialize with 1, because if we initialize the fact variable with 0, then all the factorial will become 0 irrespective of the variable, the number. Whatever number you enter, it will give the factorial 0. So that's not sense. Okay, so initialize with 1. So CLR SCR for the clearing screen. Let's get the variable from user. Printf enter the number to find factorial of a number. Okay, we are storing that in percent %d comma ampersand n. Simple enough. Okay, so from here our for loop will start. So for I, as we have initialized that I equal to 1, we have declared that we have to initialize here. So I equal to 1 means we are starting the loop from 1. Got it? The meaning of this is we are starting the loop from 1. For how much iterations you want, up to how many iterations you want to go, so it will be defined by the condition. While I is less than equal to n. Okay, here our n means variable, means it's depend upon user. Okay, so I plus plus, you need to increment that. Every loop has that rule to increment the value. Okay, with definite condition. If your condition is not defined, then obviously the program will go into infinite loop, which is never ending loop. That's why definite condition is very important. Okay, so the factorial logic is fact equal to fact into I. Since we have initialized the fact value for 1 initially, okay, and we are starting the loop from I till the number is given by user. Suppose user entered 5, so the range of loop will be 5. Up to 5 it will loop. Okay, so here I will be 1, so fact is equal to initialize with 1, so 1 into 1 it will store in fact, and here we will print that out. Printf factorial we will print that out after the loop, as because if we implemented that in for loop, then it's going to print that out for 5 times, or whatever the user entered the number up to that. Okay, so printf factorial, what is spelling, factorial, now that's correct. Factorial is %d comma fact, where we have stored the total value of factorial, get ch. Okay, suppose user entered 5, so I equal to 1, I less than 5, obviously true. Fact equal to fact into I, where value of fact is 1, multiplied 1 with 1, stored in 1. Okay, then again it will come up here and again come here, it will increment that I, then again I will compare here if I is less than 5. Remember here our value is initially 5. Okay, so now I is incremented, initially it was 1, then it is incremented to 2, so 2 is less than 5 obviously, so our previous factorial value was fact equal to 1. Okay, so now here 1 into, now the value of I is 2. Okay, so 1 into 2, 2. Now the value of factorial is 2. Okay, so again it will come here and again go up here, increment the value. Now value of I is 3. Okay, let me define here 2. I is equal to 3 now. Okay, I is less than 5. Okay, so fact equal to fact into I, where our previous factorial value was 2, so 2 into 3, that is 6. So value of factorial is 6 till now, but we are not done yet. Again it will come up here, increment the value. Now the value of I is 4. Okay, it will check with 5, obviously it is true. Then the value of factorial is 6 here. Now it will be multiplied with value of I, that is 4. Okay, so 6 into 4, that is 24. I hope you are getting this. Okay, okay, fact is 24. Now again come up here, we are not done yet, so value of I is incremented. So previously it was 4, now it is 5. Oh sorry, 5. Okay, so it will compare here. So value of I is 5 is less than equal to 5, where our initial n value is 5, as we are assuming that user entered 5 to find the factorial. Okay, so 5 is less than equal to 5. It is true because it is equal to na. If we remove that, oh sorry, if we remove that equal to sign, then it will not, so the condition will false, as because 5 is less than 5, no logic. Okay, but 5 is equal to 5, here is logic. Got it? Okay, so 5 is less than equal to 5, obviously the fact over the previous value of fact was 24. Okay, so now it's multiplied with 5, so 24 with 5 is 120. Okay, so value of fact is 120. Now again it will come up here and increment the value. Now the value of I is 6. Okay, we'll check with n value. Our n value is 5, so 6 is less than 5, obviously not, 6 is greater than 5. Okay, so it will come out of the loop and then print the final factorial, that is 120. Got it? Please watch this video again and again to get a correct concept about for loop. Okay, okay, so let's compile it. Let me save it first. Compile, no errors, and let's run it. Enter the number to find the factorial of a number. So we will enter 5 to understand our logic, as we have talked about it. 5. Okay, the factorial is 120, so this is the correct answer. Okay, remember the factorial of 1 is 1. We will implement that too. Okay, so this was for our video of for loop. I have tried my best to explain this for loop, which is very important and a little bit of confusing for the first time, but when you get used to it, you will not face any difficulties. It's very important to learn for loop in any programming language. Okay, so that was for our video. If you found any doubts, please let me know in the comments, and we have created a quiz for it, so do check that out. It's for you to test yourself out, how much you got, how much you learned about the concept. Okay, so in further videos we will cover the nested for loops, means for loop inside a for loop, which will be quite interesting. Okay, so stay tuned.